what we must do in a certain period of time, because we were given 30 different job titles, some of which were right now, others may not be right now, so I'm not clear, and I'm sorry.
And I
that
apologize for that. My team has had this ready since October in a finished form. There was some human resources and financing editings that need to be done. It's been ready for at least a few months to come forward. The decision was made that all organizational charts would come together at the same time. However, and I don't mean to sound harsh at all. 8 people out of 150 some, a whole lot more people would choose not to have our president right now if that was the option.
Bad example.
I know.
But whatever.
But that's one for me.
Yeah, well, bad example. So thank you. I have one more question about the clerk in the business services office. I understand how it's being paid for, but clerks are sensitive topics because there are other people that need and deserve clerks as well. I know that in our professional development unit that's here at the Van Hoos Education Center, they need a clerk, perhaps. So how do we justify as a board saying it's okay to put a clerk in an office wherever, and there are other people that are in need of that, and we're not taking care of their need? I'm trying to be responsive to the conversations that people bring to us, because it's our responsibility to be equitable with everyone that's trying to do the work. So when I look at the organizational chart for the business services office, I mean, it's kind of abstract to see adding another clerk. I understand that the clerk may not be housed in that office, but what's the rationale for that versus bringing equities to some of these other offices where they desperately need a clerk?
So that clerk is going to serve as more of a receptionist to the Lamb building, is my understanding, if you're speaking to the one specifically on business services.
That's correct.
Chart.
There is no longer a receptionist at the Lamb building?
No.
No, actually what they have been doing or attempting to do is having individuals that work in that building kind of rotate in. That we had that happening even at CB Young, and we now there is a person that is actually at the front desk, which works much better. There's a lot of traffic that comes into the Lamb building because that's where parents come in, and so the Culture and Climate Committee actually is the one that recommended that we look into that, because it was not being serviced well for parents and others coming in.
Okay, so historically I would like to know what happened to the clerk that was there. I was there meeting with Barbara Dempsey. There was a clerk when I entered the building. I worked there for a number of years. There was a clerk there when you entered the building. So I'd just like to know a little bit of history about what happened to that position. And not only is there a clerk when you walk in the front door, there are 2 or 3 staff members right there in that front office that have the ability to help out. And one of the things that I've seen in my years here is that people pitch in and rotate around to help out. So I'd like to understand what happened to the clerk position, because there was one there for a number of years. Thank you.
All right.
I want to give someone else a chance to jump in if they haven't gone yet. Member Kolb, and then I'll switch it back over to Member Duncan if there's no one else.
Dr. Raisor, if I could come back to you. What do you have a general sense of what the cost savings on a yearly basis is going to be from this centralization plan?
Again, Dr. Kolb, you have to take the assumption of what should have been spent.
Right.
What schools should have been spending.
Right.
We have, from the centralization of ordering,